Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I've had viewer requests to come on and do a reading on the latest developments that are around the Middle East in Syria, and also General Mattis's resignation today. Now these are worrying events. I won't try and pretend otherwise. Mattis was very much the buffer between Donald Trump's worst instincts and reactions and national security across the world. Mattis's resignation letter was very telling. He has said he was out of step with Donald Trump, who did not respect the America's alliances, and also Trump not being clear-eyed about who were the maligned or the actors that we needed to be worried about, and that was Russia and China, and called that out. So Mattis has resigned. He will be finishing up in February. He did not. He did not agree with Trump's decision to just to abruptly withdraw those troops. So I've got a series of questions I'm going to ask today. Why did Donald Trump take that decision? Why did he withdraw the American, or is going to? Why did he decide to withdraw those American troops from Syria? Why did he decide to withdraw those American troops from Syria? My intuitive feeling is that it's a bit of a smokescreen, trying to deflect attention away from Mueller. I also get that he is quite vindictive. He's unhappy with the way that he's being treated by the press, by law enforcement, by Mueller, by Congress, by the voters, by the Democrats, you name it. He's unhappy about that. So it's a show of strength, but it's a reckless show of strength. It's going to take some repairing, really, I think, and I also think that there will be such an outcry that he'll probably have to reverse that decision. No matter which way you cut it, it was a reckless decision. If he wanted to withdraw those troops, it should have been a planned withdrawal. He should have sat down with all parties and before he took such an action. There have been some comments around whether or not he's acted alone and whether or not he's doing Putin's bidding, because one of the results of pulling those American troops out is that it allows those that are within Syria to it emboldens them and allows them to be more influential. And of course, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Russia, Putin, and I'm talking about Iran. So I want to know, with this reckless decision, okay, so why did Donald Trump withdraw the troops from Syria? Why did Donald Trump withdraw American troops from Syria? I'll bring the laptop down. Okay, so this is kind of the card of, it's the moon, okay, and it's often referred to as, it can be treachery also. But it's about secrets being buried and trying to cast a kind of it's like a veil, if you like, a shadow across things that he did not want illuminated. Okay, and it was new. It was this. As I said before, this new action coming forward, and trying to, take away attention from the Mueller. Smoke signals, all right? So was he in communication with someone else, potentially overseas? The Harvest card, so he's working on behalf of someone else. Someone else was involved. Trying to get away with something in the dead of night. This was a new idea, and it potentially was a betrayal. It was a betrayal of something or someone. Moving on, Okay, these smoke signals, transitioning and moving on. I think this was, as I said, this was trying to deflect attention away from something else. He didn't make this decision alone. He certainly didn't make it with American security advisors. We know that, but it was taken in consultation with somebody else. There's a monetary aspect here. The King of Pentacles coming forward. This is usually a card I associate with Donald Trump. Okay, this is the building of material wealth. Okay, and it's mirroring the Seven of Swords. So he's trying to get away with something. There's a monetary consideration here. Things happening quite quickly. Okay, so I'm going to close this down and ask if he will be forced to reverse this. So, I mean, what I'm getting is it's a way to, it's trying to, almost like covering his secrets, casting that shadow over something else. And it's potentially, there's a monetary aspect here. So, I can't imagine why he would think he'd be successful in such a reckless, potentially destructive decision. Will he be forced to withdraw that decision? Will Donald Trump renege, withdraw? Will he be forced to change that decision? Will Donald Trump be forced to change the decision to withdraw American troops from Syria? Will he be forced to change his decision? Okay, retreat. Okay, so don't worry too much. He's going to retreat on this. That's the Four of Swords. And he's going to be forced by, I think, both sides, possibly Congress. He's going to be forced by both the Democrats and the Republicans to back down on this decision. Okay, and look, there is some kind of new beginning here. So in Donald Trump's retreat, it's actually going to bring forward more stability and more balance, and actually going to encourage some kind of new beginning. And the Empress, I think, the Empress sometimes comes forward as Mother Russia. So that's interesting. We'll let that sit there. Okay, the Two of Wands again sometimes is this is like making choices, waiting for results, but it's also can indicate some of these choices have a global consideration. So I think that card is saying both that the balance, the Congress will act to restore balance there, but it's also sitting alongside the card that I draw for Mother Russia. And it seems to me this might have been part of some sort of plan. And it's going to be loss for Donald Trump. So if we fast forward, if you like, fast forward into 2019, I think these cards are predicting Donald Trump's ending and a new beginning there. They're predicting the loss for him. This has not been a considered decision at all. And look, this is him, battle weary. He's battle weary. And these are the new emotions, the balance. This is telling me that there's going to be considerable emotion around forcing him to backtrack and judgment as well. My feeling is that Congress is going to step in some way. The Republicans are going to step in some way. As I said before, this decision is a reckless one. My feeling is it's around trying to throw a smokescreen. It's also around Donald Trump's vindictiveness and unhappiness. Okay, so it's almost like causing chaos for the sake of chaos. Now, we haven't asked if Putin had a hand in this. There is a monetary aspect to this, and I'm not sure why that is. Is Putin blackmailing Trump? Is he saying, do this for us, or else we'll withdraw monetary assistance to you, we'll release some sort of evidence. There certainly is some kind of connection there with Trump and with money. So did Putin have a hand in this decision? Did Vladimir Putin have a hand in this decision? Vladimir Putin have a hand in this decision? Behind the scenes, perhaps? What was going on behind the scenes? Did Putin have a hand in this decision? Okay, the Ten of Chalices, or the Ten of Cups. Okay, the Ten of Cups comes forward around, supporting one another, perhaps. So he was supported in some way in this decision. Potentially he was bullied in some way. So was there blackmail there? To me, this is Donald Trump, but this could also indicate how isolated he is on this decision. I think he's going to have to go back on it. And again, this monetary luxury card. There may have been some kind of. I'll keep going. I mean, this is the card of the Eight of Swords. Is this imprisonment? I think very much this is Donald Trump at the moment. Okay, I think this is why this is such a reckless decision. There's something else that's motivating this decision. Here we go. Loans and debts, okay. What was leveraged against him? Loans and debts. Calling in a debt, perhaps. And here is the card of a proposal. Some sort of proposal around his wealth. There's definitely a financial aspect here. Putin may not have directly asked him to do it, but there is some kind of link here, some kind of link between Trump and his family wealth. I think my feeling is that this is a smokescreen. This is a deflection away from the Mueller investigation. So I think we better ask that. Did the Mueller investigation have anything to do with Donald Trump's decision to withdraw troops from Syria? Did the Mueller investigation have anything to do with Trump's decision to withdraw troops from Syria? Mueller, Syria, Donald Trump. Yes, I'm getting strongly it did. The thought occurred to me that in displaying his irrationality and his recklessness, what does he want in return for reversing that decision? What does he want in return? Okay, I'll leave that thought with you. Balance. Okay, there's something here to do with trying to balance things. Balance security, balance conditions. Again, this monetary aspect. Why are all these pentacles coming forward? This is working together and repairing things. And the Wheel of Fortune changing. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune turning against Trump. Okay, and his relationships, balance and his relationships. The Two of Cups comes forward in relation to proposals, partnerships. I think this is the Russian connection, the Russian collusion coming through here, and the Devil card. Yep. Working with Russia. This is the Mueller investigation here. This is what Trump was concerned with. And the Wheel of Fortune turning. Often I get Trump now as the Hermit. Before I got him as the King of Pentacles. Sometimes he comes forward as the King of Pentacles, but he's coming forward increasingly as the Hermit, which is the isolated and withdrawn Trump. The Wheel of Fortune is turning. Okay, I think, look, it is. My cards are saying that the abrupt decision that went against his all of the advice from his national security advisors and the Pentagon was a combination done to deflect away from Mueller. I also think that while Putin, you won't find a record of Putin asking Trump to do it, You won't find that record. But in one way, Trump kept Putin happy in doing that. Okay. This had to do in some way with the money and the connections there. Was he threatened by Putin? Perhaps not overtly, but he's been around the block plenty of times to know that this is a decision that would make Putin happy because it gives Putin more influence. I really do think that he'll be forced to renege on this decision. The outcry will be such that he will, by both Republicans and Democrats. Are we likely to see some sort of legislation or bill or resolution come forward from Congress which basically makes this decision null and void? Will the pressure be put on? Will he do a deal in order to renege or to change that decision? Oops. Okay, so we've got the Emperor coming forward. Again, this show of strength. This was a show of strength, but to whom? A show of strength to whom? To Republicans? To the forces that be in America? Okay, will Congress act now? Will the Republicans act now? Will he be forced? Will he withdraw in relation to some sort of deal? You're going to see something coming forward from Congress. Yep. Okay. The Empress, Russia. Interesting. Yes, straight away, yes. We're going to see Congress act. We're going to see the Republicans step up. It's going to happen pretty quickly. He's going to be forced to backtrack. He's going to lose, and so is Russia. Okay, this is the card of disappointment. So, yeah, he is going to be forced to back down. Here he is, King of Pentacles. He is going to be forced to back down. It's going to be loss for him. Okay, so we're going to get Congress and the Republicans coming forward now very strongly and saying you can't do this, and he will potentially be forced to backtrack, and it's going to be loss for him, and it's going to be loss for Russia. All right. Worrying cards indeed. But I think it's all going to be resolved fairly quickly. This is the Eight of Wands, and that's things happening very, very quickly. There is no greater affirmation than the Sun in telling us that it will be resolved very, very, very quickly and strongly. So that's coming forward. So I guess calm down because I think he's going to have to backtrack on this decision. And there is more to it than meets the eye. It is around a deflection away from Moolah. It's also, there's some monetary aspect there. Potentially, I've drawn the Mother Russia card. Potentially, this is keeping Putin, could be keeping Putin happy. And we have to wonder what has gone on. You know, is Trump still an agent, an agent of Russia? Because we're sort of looking, this would be quite treacherous behaviour, wouldn't it? Before we close down the reading, I'm just going to ask, is Trump acting in some way, whether he knows it or not, is Trump an agent for Russia? Is Trump an agent for Russia? I'm kind of, it might be, I'm using the term agent as someone who knows he's an agent, but I don't think it would be that cut and dried. It would be like Russia holds sway over a lot of his personal fortune. They've bought a lot of real estate. He definitely, as we can see from Mueller's work, there's the connection there to get him elected. So whether he is an overt agent of Russia or not, whether he knows he's an agent or of Russia or not, is he acting in Putin's self-interest? Is the President of the United States acting in Putin's interest? Working hard, okay? So he's working hard at the moment. What is he working hard on? Okay, this is the card of new inspirations and projects. This is the card of the trickster, the magician. Sometimes referred to, I know that Roger Stone was referred to as the dirty trickster. Prying open the truth. This is suggesting that there's something hidden in this work that he is doing. New projects. What are the new projects? The Tower. Okay. Potentially things that aren't in the best interests of the US. Or, eventually it'll be Donald Trump. Oh dear. Okay. I think these cards are quite clear. All is not what it seems. All is not what it seems. I mean, whether you believe my cards are correct or not, all is not what it seems. These decisions are reckless. And I don't feel we know there's things that are hidden here. There is some connection with with loans and debts. There's some kind of connection here with his personal finances. However, these cards are saying that action will come forward fairly quickly from Congress, potentially the Republicans. Now, we'll wait for those situations to play out. Once they do, we'll have a closer look at exactly what has gone on between the Republicans and Trump in relation to this Syrian decision, perhaps walking it back, because there's some sort of deal here that my feeling, there potentially is some sort of deal here that's going to be made between Trump and the Republicans. So let's wait and see what happens. But for the moment, my intuition is saying that there's going to be strong action coming forward now. The outcry is such. I know it's a worrying time, but the outcry is going to be such that Trump will be forced to walk back that decision in some way. They're my cards, okay? Have a look at that and see what you think. I'll hand it over to you, viewers, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.